not expect it to be that packed. I want to say, I don't even remember. I don't even know where I can't even point out the location. Like, what's the name of that? Sorry.
She's getting so worked up. She's like,
that bottle of water and pull yourself down.
K-pop.
No.
It was just it was so full. Like, I would
It's
say
when they do
maybe
not the masquerade.
Did they do the ballroom there?
That's the ballroom.
Ballroom, yeah. It was a ballroom. Was a ballroom dance thing? Is that? Do you remember doing it?
Well, they had like the main masquerade hall, and then
it was probably the side ballroom.
It was
yes,
the
side
ballroom. Yeah, that whole place was full. I was so shocked because I didn't know there was so many K-pop fans out there. Maybe they weren't even just K-pop fans. Maybe they were also there to cheer on their friends and whatnot. But it was just so packed. I was so surprised. It made me so happy. There are other people that like K-pop.
Yeah, she was really
ecstatic. It's not even a big thing. It's like, I haven't heard about it today.
Oh, but it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Shut up. You've heard it from me plenty of times.
He tries to forget.
Stupid.
Is it from Canada or something?
Shut up. Okay, well, that was the panel I went to.
Did you really enjoy it?
What ones you went to, by the way?
Huh?
Any other panels you went to?
I'm trying to think. Well, a lot of it. I'm trying to think what else. We went to the Masquerade. Can we count that in?
I think we can talk about, like, our next break.
Oh, yeah, because that one, holy crap, there's so much to talk about. Let's see. We went to hentai panels, of course.
You gotta go to hentai panels.
You have to, yeah. Any con you go to, you have to go to hentai panels. Don't be embarrassed about it. You have to go. It's an interesting experience, not only because, like, oh my god, here are all these other people that also watch this. It can be awkward or it can be really funny. It could just be like, they make fun of or they're dubbing an anime, which we didn't get to see, actually, sadly, because it reached room capacity. So that's another thing. If you're going to a panel, make sure you plan ahead and go like 2 hours before,
Oh, good lord.
before going to the panel, because, some of these panels are like, could either be like a hit or miss. They can be really popular, and it could reach room capacity, and you can't get in, and you have to wait till somebody leaves. Or, you can be like, okay, well, it's not as packed, and I'm going to go in and make it. And you go in and make it. But majority of all the hentai panels were at max capacity, which I think they should probably move it somewhere else, but I don't think they don't have a bigger place to put these panels. Like, these panel rooms at the Rosemont, because they placed them all at the Rosemont, because those are huge. Imagine that. Like, there's no way. It's just so packed. So, plan ahead. 2 hours before.
I would say that was a joke, but no. There were literally people waiting 2 years. 2 years. 2 hours. Yeah. They were waiting 2 years for the panels at ACEN 2016.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there were people that had been waiting in line just so that they could make sure that they got in. And good for them. They did.
Yeah.
But if there's anything on the panel list that seems interesting to you, you might want to try to gauge how popular it is, because
yes,
once the room's full, there's no getting in. Not until someone leaves.
Yeah, and you have to
you're
wait.
Stuck.
You have to wait, and then not only that, you'll miss out on stuff. So plan ahead and go in early, way early. Yeah, because that's what happened to us. A lot of stuff like reached max capacity. I don't know what panels did you guys go to? I need to think.
I went to an 80s OVA panel. The whole purpose of it was to show off violent, obscure anime from way back when that I absolutely love.
It was great.
I had so much fun just looking back at older shows. Some I knew, some I didn't. Makes me... I always talk about missing older style of anime, and that totally made me miss it even more. But really enjoyed that panel. Let's see. Realistically, there weren't a ton of panels that I wanted to go to. To me, it seemed like this year there were a lot of panels that dealt with pretty much the same material. Mm-hmm. There were 5 Evangelion panels that were all talking about the philosophy and the hidden meanings here and there. It's like, well, that's great, but why do you need 5 of them?
Yeah.
Or they had panels overlapping.
Yeah.
For instance, the hentai panels. There were 2 of them that we were interested in going to, but they were at the exact same time.
Yep.
So...
Even then, both of them were max capacity.
Yeah, I mean, both of them were full. That couldn't have been helped. But they were at the same time. So that kind of made things difficult. Another thing about the panels is, according to the guidebook, they were in panel rooms 1 through 14 or something. However... Well, I should backstep. All of those panels would have been on the first floor of the Rosemont Convention Center. However, for some reason, they moved them all up to the second floor.
And there was one sheet of notebook paper. It was, like, attached to a door, and it said, please go upstairs for room yada yada, number. And I was like, oh.
I mean,
okay.
It's obvious to me that they had to move everything upstairs for some reason, but there wasn't any notice that I can recall about this. So we had some people looking around for these panels on the first floor, and they're trying to get in all the rooms, and there's just nothing there.
Yep.
Like, why? Didn't that happen to you, Andrew? Where you might have...
finding the panel?
Yeah.
Yes, but that was partially my own fault, because they have specific numbers on the room. Like conference room 19, conference room 12. So you'd think that when it says panel room 12, it would be in conference room 12, but that's not necessarily so.
Ah, okay.
They have outside the rooms. They have these posters that say panel room 1, panel room 2, 3, 4, but they don't correspond at all with the numbers that are actually printed on the wall.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
I mean, I did get mixed up. However, they're generally in the same vicinity. But thankfully, the panel that I went to did not have a line, because if it did, then I would have missed out. So I got lucky.
Woohoo! As far as like panel-wise,
yeah. Back to my original point. The few panels that I went to, I did enjoy, but overall, outside of the main events, I wasn't too interested in, like, the community-based panels. There just wasn't anything that jumped out at me.
I don't know if it was because we've been to, ACEN so many years, and a lot of it is, repetitive, coming back for another year and whatnot. But, I felt the same way. There wasn't a lot of things that I was really interested to go seeing, because I've already seen it before. But even so, Andrew, as a first time ever, was there something that popped out at you? Was there a lot of panels? Was there a little bit of panels?
No, see, to me, there was a lot of things that I liked about Anime Central. The panels would be low on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's just because not a lot of it appealed to me. The one that I did go to was called A Guide to Amateur At-Home Voice Acting.
Mm-hmm.
And the particular reason I went to that panel is because there's this YouTuber who I'm in love with. He does a lot of really great short, funny videos. He will take something like Hamtaro and do like a dub of it. And
oh my god.
He was kind of like one of the his videos have like millions of hits, and he was at this small panel, so I went there for him.
Mm-hmm.
But one critique about that panel is it was run by one particular person and this one particular person basically like kind of invited all of her friends to be a part of the group.
Okay.
So I felt that as far as the panels go, it almost seems like Anime Central approves them, just says, yeah, this is a good idea, go ahead and do it. But as far as like screening who's there, it just seems a little lax. That's just...
So was the actual YouTuber there?
Oh, yes, they were. But
okay. They brought their friends.
Yeah, it was like one person that I knew, and then there was like 13 other people there. And it was just, there was way too many people, and I guess like not enough time.
Oh, okay.
Kind of felt like they were just winging it. Like,
yeah, I guess
there wasn't
a planned out panel.
Well, they had a goal in mind, but I can't see them having that many people in one room with an organized like plan to go through it. It's like,
sounds like it's a little bit hectic.
Yeah, and there was only about 6 microphones, so there was a lot of
I
mic
see.
sharing, mic passing. So I don't know. It felt a little. Sometimes more, less is more. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Donut? What panels did you go to? Oh wait, I'm sorry. I cut off Andrew. You were saying so you went to one panel. Were there more panels that stood out to you? Besides that one?
Besides that one, unfortunately no. But this is why I'm jaded here. It's difficult for me to speak on panels because, being a California resident, the 2 conventions here that I'm most familiar with are San Diego Comic-Con and Anime Expo.
Big conventions.
Yes. And when you look at the panel guide of those, typically, like, if there's a Sailor Moon panel, you have, like, at least, like, 4 voice actresses who actually worked on the series. Or if there's a video game panel, for example, a couple years ago, there was a Street Fighter 5 panel at Comic-Con, and they had the director, the art director, they brought in trailers and concept art. So when I looked at the ACEN the ACEN panels, it mostly seemed like fan run.
Which I think a majority of them, I would say like 90% of them are fan panels.
all of the ones in the Stevenson Center are fan-ran.
Yes, they
Hence,
are.
it's so difficult for me to give like my opinion here because I looked at the panels and just like nothing reached out to me, but I'm completely spoiled by celebrities. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, no, again, that goes.
Baby.
That goes back to what I was saying. Like the main events, the ones that were ran by ACEN,
Yeah.
the panels and stuff, or by the industry, those were great. The community-based panels definitely were lacking. Whether it's substance or variety, like there just wasn't a whole lot there that had me wanting to go to the panels.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just remembered, like, you were speaking about hentai panels earlier. Can we talk about the one that I went to?
Unfortunately, we screwed you over with the hentai panel.
Well, no. I don't think it's your guys' fault because it was called Hentai Hell, and
Oh, yes.
a red
And when you
flag-
think of hentai, exactly, you think of anime.
yeah,
Dojin.
hentai
Porn
is,
version, not real stuff.
Yeah, hentai is Japanese animation that is erotic. So when they said, okay, our next clip is, what was the expression they used? Live action.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it wasn't live action like, oh, people dressed up in cosplay doing stuff. It was just straight up real porn, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and from what I hear, they had a lot of that. And I thought to myself, could you imagine if they had like an esports panel? It's like, okay, we're going to show you a League of Legends highlight clip. Now we're going to show you something from the NFL. Now we're going
Yeah.
to go to
Yeah,
now
see,
we're going to show you PGA.
I totally agree with you with that. I am on that page. I do not. They definitely should have just kept with like just hentai stuff. But again, I think it's because over the years they've had hentai hell for so long that they didn't want to keep showing repetitive hentai stuff, because like